Hi there! I found something in our junk bin. It's a Profimaster robot automatic vacuum cleaner. I thought it's maybe an interesting thing to take apart, and maybe it still works, and it turned out that it does if I really work. But it has a problem. The batteries are too weak. They should last for about 2 hours or 1.5, I'm not sure. But after about 10 minutes it's going out of juice and wants to find its charging station, and that's the second problem. I don't have the charging station, so that doesn't make much sense. The other problem I recognized is that it works fine on flat ground, but if you have carpets it's a little bit difficult because the vacuum cleaner, the intake motor is a little bit too weak for that. So if you have laminate floors, it's fine. It has these small rotating brushes here. Each one has its own little motor. This is fine for going into the corners of your house. As you can see, I have tried it. It has collected some dust everywhere. It does also collect dust inside, which is absolutely normal. You have here this little box with a filter. Here is the intake hole, and you can see it collected quite a bit of hair and dust and stuff, so you can remove the filter. That's okay. You can also open the box, remove the pre-filter, and here you see all the dirt. Wonderful. Okay, I won't show you that too close. It's not so interesting. Now, here you can see the hole that goes to the bottom filter box, and on the back side there is it's a little bit difficult. Everything is black. There is a grid. Behind the grid is the water blower motor. And here on the underside we have the battery compartment. I have broken away some edges here to install a bigger battery, but it turned out that I don't have one that fits. So I tried to install a battery on the top, but well. So first thing, I think it's a little bit annoying. You have here a lot of cables, so that repair here is what I have done when connecting another battery. You have quite long cables, but you have no room to put them in, so you have to cramp it in, push in, so that's not too nice. Nice thing is you can easily disconnect that, and you see it's a 2000 milliamp hour 14.4 volt nickel metal hydride battery. I'll show you that label. And I have read in some forums that people have problems with the battery, and I think for a total price of 150 euros for this unit, you probably buy one replacement battery, and then the next time you just throw that thing away, and I think that's exactly what happened here. Now let's have a look inside. First thing, there are a lot of screws, which I will remove now. Okay, now I think we have done all the screws. Nope, one more. But it seems that the cover is still hanging somewhere, maybe on this, well, bumper here. So I remove that bumper too. Well, bumper comes off. There is a sensor here. I will remove that too. Okay. And we are in. So first to disconnect the battery cable. Yep. So what do we have here? The cover and the display and sensor button board. Oops. That looks like that. So it seems they made, that's interesting, they made the lettering right on the PCB. Funny design. Why not? Okay. So, and the other part is here, that blower motor, the vacuum cleaner motor. Oh, I was wrong. That's not the battery cable, that's the cable of the motor here, of course. It looks a bit like this screw has been added after the whole thing was designed. Maybe they had some trouble to get it airtight. So what do we have? Well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought it's a little bit more about it. That's the blower wheel. That's the motor, just a DC toy motor. And that's it. That's the whole vacuum blower. Okay. Maybe I won't keep that. I thought it would be a little bit better. So let's move away that stuff. Now, what do we have here? a big circuit board, which is more populated than I thought. That's the drive motors. The wheels are spring loaded, so they know when they are on ground or not. There's also a switch, you can hear that. The other wheel too. Two independent drive units here. A lot of sensors. The first one was on the top. It's that one here. That looks like an infrared remote control, but as I learned from some forums, this is used to find the docking station, because the docking station sends out some signals, and somehow, I don't know how, this guy finds the way to it. Maybe that's not the only signal. I think that would be a bit too simple. So let's look at the motors here. Two screws. There's a third screw. At least they took some decent sized screws, so the whole thing here doesn't make it too bad impression. So that's one motor here, plugs out, very nice. Maybe, oh, it even has a rotation sensor here on top of the motor with some optic sensors. The problem is that there are a lot of optical sensors in this unit, and there is also naturally a lot of dust, and I fear that if this runs long enough, all those sensors get dusty and probably will have problems sooner or later. Now I can't remove that without removing the board. So let's unscrew that board. Four screws, and now it goes around. So the same mechanism on the other side, and the second wheel. Now what do we have here? A charging terminal, power switch, and it goes up to the board. Some power regulator stuff around here. Then we have another plug here. So that's interesting. That's the dust intake slot, and there is a light sensor that senses if some dust particles go through. And the funny thing is, when it detects some dust here, all the lights on the top will flicker, and if it doesn't detect any dust, then the clean lamp here is lit solid. And if it has some dust, so all the lights here are flickering. I first thought this is a problem, a defect, but it seems that it has to be like that. So that's, I don't know where that is going. We have some more plugs. I have to plugs, a lot of plugs. I think most of the price is for all these plugs and cables. There's one with big wires. Oops. Okay, we have a look at that a little bit later. We have two motors for the brushes, one here, the other here, independent brushing motors, not brushless, that's something different. So what do we have here? Here we have another optical sensor with a, I assume, a receiver and a transmitter. You can see the two diodes, one is dark, one is bright. Then we have here another pair. And here we have a third optical sensor. And we also have mechanical sensors. So if the bumper touches something, this mechanical switch will activate. Then we have something here, which I'm not sure what it is. So from the back side it looks like another optical thing. Let's unscrew that and find out what it could be. No. More screws to go. Ah, now it lifts off. Some annoying cable retainer. I won't reassemble it after, so it goes back where it came from, the recycling bin. But it is always interesting to have a look at this stuff. So we can see here the mechanical switch. We can see the wires that go. Oops, I took it serious here. Two wires to that diode, two wires to the other. Then the same here. And another switch on this side. But still, that's just a spring to keep the bumper in the right position. That comes up. Okay. So what do we have inside here? We have 2 times 3 wires. I don't know. Okay, more screws on the back side. Okay, and even more screws. So now that's the secret. There are 2 of those infrared receivers. I think that's the also for finding the docking station. So that's why they are in this plastic casing here. So the light shines in through that slot here and through the other, so that the robot knows which way to go if he aims for a specific signal. I don't know if you can see that, maybe like that. So that way the light goes in to this sensor, and if you turn it a little bit, the light goes to that sensor, and the other way, the other is blocked, and this sensor receives the light and that one is blocked. So it knows exactly where to go. Simple but effective. Wow, looks like some part from a Star Wars movie. Maybe I make a light sword out of it. Okay. Now, what do we have here? There are the connections for the charging station, which goes down here. That's the front wheel, it's just rolling around. Okay, there are more sensors down here. I think these sensors prevent the robot falling from the stairs, or maybe from this table here, because if it moves to the edge, the sensors here will detect that and it goes back. So there you are. Oh, there are even more. There is another one here. So we have 4 down-facing sensors. Let's remove that brush. The brushes can be bought as a spare part. So if they wear out, so if they lose their hairs here, you can buy new ones. They are somewhere about 15 euros or something, depending where you buy it. So there is another motor and even more screws. I think if I only keep the screws, I have enough screws for the next 10 projects. So that's a nice geared motor here. Who knows what I could use it for. More screws. 2 screws for each brush motor. A lot of dust collection here. So that's what I mean, the dust goes everywhere. Also into the sensors where it does not belong. So we have here the sensor. It's marked L, like left, which is well, depending if you look from the front, then it's left. So I guess that one will be the right. Yes, right sensor. And there is another right sensor that comes out. No, it is marked left. Even it's under, okay. So we have a left, and oops, a right, left. Okay, a pair of left and right, light and left and right. Okay, and the same on the other side. So can we see inside? What do we have? Don't know. This is. It seems it is glued together. Don't screw it apart, tear it apart. Oops, something has gone. Maybe we can make the other side go too. Well, but it doesn't help a lot. Ah, okay, that weighs it. So that's a simple sensor, 2 LEDs, 1 transmit, 1 receive, 1 straight, 1 in a certain angle, and 2 Chinese symbols telling the worker which one goes where, I think, possibly. So that's it. I think that's an infrared sender diode. That's some sort of receiver. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Haven't tried it. So I think that's it from the mechanical point. Let's see what we have here. So we have an ARM processor. Someone has written something on it. Maybe we can still read what it is. I can't read it, it's too small, but I think you on the screen can see it. We have voltage regulators, maybe one for the unit and the other one to charge the battery. We have a beeper. We have the big processor here, and we don't have too much around it. There's a coin cell to store some settings. Maybe it stores a little bit your floor plan, the floor plan of your house. We have 1, 2 power transistors. I guess they are for the motors, to switch them on and off. We have more power transistors here, switching power supply. There's another 3-pin thing. Can't see the part number here on the display, but you probably can. So I think that's, well, not a lot of magic here. There are some test points. A lot of test points around here to simulate all the sensors, inputs and output stuff. Well, but it seems that this ARM processor does almost everything. There's just a little bit interfacing to drive the motors and sensors and stuff. But well, without knowing the software here, we can't say a lot about how it works. Well, that's it.